In the 2021 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings drafted a big man out of Utah State, and after 2 seasons with the team in Sacramento kind of having a logjam at the center position, he was ultimately waived. He then signed a 2-way contract with the Boston Celtics, and after performing well, he was then converted to a fully guaranteed contract, which leads us to today. He is the first ever Portuguese NBA player, and his name is Neemias Queta. Welcome to Basketball Intuition. I'm your host, Ethan Simon. Today, we're going to be talking about Neemias Queta and the Boston Celtics. Now, Al Horford has not signed with anybody at all, so he could technically sign back with the Celtics if he wanted to, but we are assuming that he's not. They traded away Kristaps Porzingis. Luke Kornet is not on the roster, and this leaves Boston frontcourt with Luka Garza, Chris Boucher, and Mr. Queta. And the one that I am most confident in is the one that we're going to be talking about today, Mr. Queta. We're going to start with his build. We're going to go to his finishing, his defense, playmaking, ball handling, all that kind of stuff. So let's not waste no more time. Let's get straight to his build. Okay, so Queta was one of the biggest and longest players in his entire class. He is 7 feet tall with a 7'4" wingspan. And with his 9'4.5" standing reach, he doesn't have to jump barely at all to touch the rim. But from the information that I have, he does in fact have a 33-inch vertical. Queta is extremely athletic, and it is one of the biggest upsides about having him on your basketball team. He turned 26 years old last month, meaning that he won't turn 27 till the end of next season. And if I had to give you any fast facts before we get over to his skill set, I would tell you that he gives full energy and effort. He plays with energy and grit and excitement. He plays hungry, and he feeds off of the crowd. And I want to say this before we get over to his skill set. He hasn't really gotten really consistent minutes, as a starter or in the real rotation. So for the first couple months, he could struggle a little bit. But whenever we get to that January area, when we get to the next calendar year, that's when I think he's really going to be able to show off all of his skills. So if he struggles a little bit for the first couple months of the season, I wouldn't be too worried. So when it comes to his finishing ability, where I want to start is the fact that he can finish with his left and his right hand. That's something you love to see out of a post player. He also uses his length very well when finishing at the rim. Those one-handed push shots and those hook shots, they're very hard to stop. People say that, 2 or 3 things are inevitable in life: death, taxes, and the third one would be not being able to block his jump hook. And one thing about his size that he's really going to be able to show off next season is how well I think he's going to play against these smaller teams. So for example, if you're playing the Golden State Warriors and they have Draymond Green in at the 5, yes, Draymond is a really great defender, but he can't match his size. Whenever he gets that inside positioning against smaller lineups in general, it's just going to be hard to stop him. I'm not going to say he's going to go out there and dominate, but it is going to be hard for smaller teams to find answers for him. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is his play in the dunker spot. Whenever he is in that dunker spot, again, whenever he is against smaller teams in general, whenever he's in the position to get the ball close to the basket and he can just rise up and dunk on you or shoot that hook shot, again, it's just going to be hard to stop him. It's just all up to him if his touch is right and if he's getting those shots to fall. And again, whenever he's in that dunker spot, he is so big and long and athletic. If he can get up in the air, there is nobody that is going to block him or stop him. And I'm really interested to see how the Celtics are going to kind of adjust their game plan and use him more this next season with Jason Tatum being out. Whenever you have him and Peyton Pritchard in the game together, I would just love to see them run more pick and roll together. Because if I'm being honest, there were times throughout last season where he was in the game, but I didn't feel like they were using him enough. They weren't using his size enough. Another thing that you're going to get out of Queta, and you know this if you're a Celtics fan, you're going to get a whole lot of dunks and you get a huge lob threat. One thing that I'm really excited to see is he said in a recent interview that he was trying to get to the free throw line more this next season. And last season, we just saw him shoot a career high 75% from the free throw line. If you have an aggressive Queta that you are giving him the ball and you're giving him opportunities to try and get to that free throw line and get to the inside, he's going to really finally be able to maximize his skill set. As we know, Queta is more of the traditional style 5. He is more of a rim running. He's not really stretching the floor, getting to that 3-point line, or really shooting many jump shots at all. Giving him more opportunities to show his post-up game, that's just going to be another thing that's going to help him get to the free throw line, and that's just going to add more layers to what he can do on the floor on a night-to-night basis for you. And watching him play overseas these last few weeks has made me even more confident, because whenever he's in those positions against these smaller teams overseas, he's able to really be that bruising 5 and showing off the fact that if you have smaller defenders, if you have smaller bigs that are skinnier, he's just going to overpower them. And again, a big part about him being able to maximize on that is his touch around the rim. Is he going to be able to finish on these opportunities? Last season, we saw him in the restricted area shoot 71%. And just in general from the field, we saw him shoot 65% last season. Now let's get over to the playmaking and ball handling side of things. He is not much of a playmaker. He can, in fact, make some really nice passes, though, throughout some games. He's not going to really be out there reading the floor and making these reads to cutters all the time. And this is another thing that with more time and experience and poise, he's going to be able to show that off better. This is another thing that we saw him doing overseas. He had some really nice passes through these last few games. In one of his recent games, I think it was against Spain, I even seen that man hit a turnaround jumper. If he could bring a turnaround jumper to the league, you better watch out. And the biggest part that puts it all together when it comes to his passing and his playmaking is that he is a willing passer. He's very willing to make those extra passes. Now, this next thing, I want to sit on it for a minute and I want to look at a couple plays with you, but he is a very good screen setter. There were times where he was literally the heart and soul of a few plays, setting multiple screens on and off the ball, and then rolling to the inside, causing commotion. So real quick, I want to look at 2 or 3 of these together. These aren't really any crazy plays, but I just want to show off what I'm talking about. So this first one, we're going to set an off-ball screen for Jrue Holiday and create a switch. So now it looks like he's going to go over and set another screen, so Kyle Anderson and Gary Payton are going to communicate this. But what does he do? He just slips it, goes straight to the basket, poster. Here's the next one. I'm sorry the quality isn't great. So we're going to start off with one off-ball screen. We're going to wait a second. He's going to get another off-ball screen for Jrue Holiday. Now we see him get switched on to AJ Green, and what is he going to do? He's just going to go to punish him. AJ is going to try and get off of him, which puts Taurean Prince on him. And look at this. He is bigger. He is bullying him. So Drew's going to try and get him the ball. That's a foul. Here's the next one. He's going to come up and set a screen on the ball, keep it high in the air, hit to the corner. Peyton Pritchard's going to drive to the inside, throw up the lob. He can't do nothing about it, so Dame just has to foul him. And this is what I'm talking about, him being the heart and soul of these plays, setting multiple screens, creating switches and commotion, so he's able to use his size and just punish these smaller lineups. Now, I'm not going to spend no time on this next thing. We're talking about the shooting real quick. He mentioned in an interview that he's always working on the shooting, of course. The most I would expect to see from him when it comes to the shooting side of things, like I mentioned earlier, I've seen him hit a turnaround jumper against Spain. So if he could add that post work instead of just taking you straight to the basket and he could fade it away, that would just bring extra layers to his game. If you're still here and enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button. It helps out a smaller creator out like myself much more than you realize. Now the next section we're going to be spending time on is going to be the defense and rebounding. The shot blocking and shot contesting is top tier with his big body, his long arms, his good vertical. It creates a paint presence. Now his paint presence is recognized by good players. So for example, against the Bucks earlier in the season, Dame was getting to the inside, but he did not want to go up on Queta and he kept passing out of it. His paint presence is recognized by a lot of really good players, but soon it is going to be recognized and respected by every team. He's a very active defender. There are not many times where he's just standing around not doing anything at all. He is helping around everywhere that he possibly can. And he is very active in general, but in the paint especially, he is very active. And I'll tell you, it was really fun earlier in the season where we got to see him play minutes with Horford, where he was playing more of the 4 and Horford was playing the 5. And it was allowing Queta to play on these shooters that don't really ball handle much, like Taurean Prince, Andre Jackson Jr. for that Bucks example. And whenever he's against these forwards on the perimeter, he can hold his own, but it also lets him play in that free safety role where he's able to roam around and help out on the interior and be a help side shot blocker and shot contester. And now you don't have Al Horford this next season. The best you really got is Chris Boucher. So I'm not really sure how that's going to look, if he's really going to be able to do stuff like that next season, but if it's there, it's going to be great. I felt for his size and the fact that it takes him so long to move his legs sometimes, he actually did a pretty good job against perimeter players. Against really quick guards and elite scoring guards, he's not going to really be able to do a whole lot, but against those forwards and shooters, like I mentioned, that aren't really ball handling that much, he's going to be able to hold his own. And also when it comes to his shot blocking, he is a chase down threat. He covers ground very quickly with those long legs. You think you're going up for a free layup and he comes out of nowhere and packs your shot. This man done chase down snatch block Andrew Wiggins. Now let's talk about a few bad things when it comes to his defense and rebounding. I would say his positioning isn't great, and his feel also, I don't feel like it's great at times. There are times where I feel like he's kind of lost in the defense. And also, again, there are times throughout the game where I feel like his positioning could just be a lot better. Also, another negative thing, a lot of ticky-tacky fouls that don't need to be there. And he really needs to clean those up. And I'm very confident that with more time and experience, he's going to be able to clean those up. 2 more negative things. He did say in a recent interview that he is working on his conditioning, which is much needed. That is a big thing that I felt like he was going to need to do for this next season. And the last thing would be that there are too many times where he is too thirsty to get a block. And he's coming off of his feet to try and block a shot instead of just standing strong and trying to contest the shot. And that was mainly against guards. It wasn't as much against bigs. He does a really good job at standing straight and playing straight up defense with other bigs like Giannis, for example. But again, there were times where he was getting a little too thirsty to come off of his feet and try and get that block. And it would end up in him getting pump faked and then getting a free layup or him fouling. And now over to more of the rebounding stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like his positioning could be better at times. He's got fairly good timing. But again, he is that traditional rebounding and rim running center, and he knows that. My favorite part about the rebounding was the offensive rebounds. Whenever he goes up and gets that offensive rebound, he wants to go right back up with it. And the rebounding is one of the biggest things that you're looking for. If we look at that game earlier in the season on March 2nd against the Nuggets, he played 17 minutes, but he had 8 points and 10 rebounds. And if we look at his game log from March, 24 minutes, 9 rebounds, 17 minutes, 8 rebounds, 23 minutes, 8 rebounds. That is one thing that you are always going to get out of Queta. He is going to be on the glass. And in most cases, rebounding is all about effort. And like I mentioned earlier, he has all the effort in the world. And then my closing points would be for his size. He's got good hands. In close games especially, like whenever it's late game, really close, down to the wire, he is so extremely focused focused. And then I got like 2 miscellaneous points I want to talk about real quick. There are a lot of possessions where he is cutting the basket and he's throwing his hands up in the air and nobody is getting him the ball. That's something I'd like to see the Celtics do better next season. Whenever he has good positioning and he's on the inside against a smaller defender, they better get him that ball. Peyton Pritchard was the only one that I was feeling like was really giving it to him in those situations. And then the last thing that I mentioned earlier, I don't feel like they used him enough offensively whenever he was in those games, so I'm interested to see how they're going to change their game plan for next season, having him in the game more. I felt like there was too much time of him sitting in that dunker spot. Like I said, he was very good there, but he also could be out there setting screens where he was even more effective. And that's really all I had to talk about for today for Neemias Queta. If we talk about the other big that y'all got for a second, Chris Boucher, 6'9", 6'10", with a 7'4" wingspan, which is insane. He's super lanky. He's like 32 or 33 years old. Ups and downs throughout his career as a three-point shooter. Some seasons where he's shooting super efficiently, other seasons where he's really not. Also, injury history that comes with that. And yeah, let's look at the depth chart for a second. I'm gonna have to find another depth chart, because there's like 4 people that are in here that literally aren't on the roster. What is ESPN doing? Y'all get paid all this money for what? Okay, this is a much better one. This is the actual roster. One thing I'm looking at when I see this depth chart, I'm very interested to see what they are going to do with the 4 or 5 position. If they're going to run some Chris Boucher and Queta together. If they're going to try and go a little bit smaller and run the Sam Hauser down there. Or maybe you finally let Jordan Walsh get some real minutes and you put him next to Queta. Like, I'm not really sure how they're going to do that, but I'm interested to see what they are going to do. Celtics fans, let me know what you think they're going to do. And also, I'm just excited to see Anthony Simons with this team. But yeah, man, this is where we're going to start to wrap things up. NBA fans, Celtics fans, let me know what you think of Queta. Celtics fans, give me your expectations for this next season. Do you expect your team to still be a really good team, like a top 3-4 seed, if you think they'll really take a hit, or be in that play-in, or the lower seed, like a 5-6? Let me get y'all's predictions. And the final thing before we wrap this up, the best segment of the day, my favorite segment of the day, should be your favorite segment of the day. It's the comment of the day. The comment of the day is my favorite comment from the previous video. It can be about anything. I don't care what's it about. So the comment of the day is going to be from Kyrie Thompson, a man that has gotten many comments of the day. Very consistent. He's on all my videos. He was asking for a timeline on a video that is best guards under 23 years old. Also, he was asking about a Benedict Mathurin, Jalen Suggs, Keontae George, Emmanuel Quickley, Cason Wallace, Cam Thomas breakdown. And also that he likes the longer videos. I also like the longer videos. I don't think this is going to be a longer video, but I definitely do enjoy the longer videos. If y'all want to see any of those, let me know which one. I think the next video we're going to do, I'm going to flip it from 23 years old to 22 years old, and we're going to do the best guards under 22 years old. I'm going to do like my top 15 guards under 22. So it's just a bunch of young guys with a lot of potential that have either shown a lot or haven't shown a lot that I think could show a lot. You know what I mean? So let me know what y'all want to see. Remember to take care of yourself. It is very important that you take care of yourself on a weekly and a day-to-day basis, just doing things that you enjoy for your soul. I love each and every single one of you. Your support means the world to me, even if I'm getting 500 views on a video, 3,000 views on a video, 20,000 views on a video. It doesn't matter. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And yeah, man, I will see you very soon. I hope you're all doing very well. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one, man. Peace out.